It's the righteous vigilante Jamon Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open.
Hey, yo, check it out. This is Namestream, never mainstream. You're tuning in to Minds Wide Open Media.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we back with another Florida Vibe Friday. I'm going to start calling it that because that's what we've been doing. But today, we got a legend in the building. Somebody that's been putting on for South Florida for a minute, been doing their thing, been being recognized all over. I'm going to just let you introduce yourself, Chief.
What's going on, you guys? It's Udo, 50 Carats.
The art dealer's in the building. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. It's been a long day, but we here.
How was the drive over here?
It was smooth, a little bit of traffic, but nothing crazy.
I feel like by 6 it usually dies down, but try driving down this bitch 5, it's a wrap.
Like, if you try to hit 95, like, around 3, 4 o'clock, it's almost just as packed as 5.
But 95 is 95, bro.
True.
That shit always going to be jumping. But we ain't come here to talk about I-95, dog. Udo, I guess we'll start, from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Before we get there, though, what is it that you do primarily?
Primarily, I design clothes, or just in general, I do creative direction.
Okay.
That's the best way to explain it.
All right, so before we get more deep into that, let's go into, like, the early life. Like, what kind of kid were you? Were you, like, outside? Were you, like, more into, like, technology, games, or, like?
A little bit of both, actually. So I was outside. I would play football. I played soccer my whole life.
Damn, word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm fire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You fire at FIFA?
And FIFA.
I'm trash at FIFA, dog.
I don't know. It's been a minute. I don't really play games like that as much. I played one game called Apex.
Apex Legends?
Yeah, that one.
I might have to get on there with you now.
It's a vibe. Like, it's just something to do.
So no Call of Duty, no Warzone?
Nah, it's too much.
You ain't trying to get in there with the sweats?
Nah, it made it too confusing.
Now, do you know they actually took the gulag out?
Really?
Yeah, so it's way more fun. Like, cause I was like, I'm like, fuck this shit. But then, like, they were telling me, like, and I played.
Yeah.
And it's like, you die, and if your team survives like 30 seconds, you can come right back and shit. Like, it's way more fun.
All right, I might give that a chance.
Were you a gamer growing up? Was that something you did, or was it more like the creative
I played
stuff?
like Gears of War,
Okay.
Time Splinters. I don't know how old y'all is.
Yeah,
Splinter Cell?
Nah, just
No.
Time Splinters.
Time Splinters?
Yeah. See,
Was that the one with the monkey?
Yeah, I think there was a monkey in that. Yeah.
And, like, that was like the character that, like, no one was allowed to pick because he was like mad short, so he's easy just to run around and shoot everyone. Yeah.
Damn.
It was a
y'all
good game.
put me on.
It was a good game. Good times. But yeah, like I used to play not a lot of games, but I like technology. Like Apple, I was a big Apple fan. Like,
Okay.
More than your usual Apple consumer.
So you were like ahead of the wave before like the iPhone took over. You were like watching it.
Yeah, like I had my iPhone, it was jailbroken, so like all the newer stuff that they started releasing, like my phone had
Yo,
it.
that shit used to be crazy because you used to have all the music when the shit was jailbroken. Remember when people were changing the colors on their shit?
That was me.
That was a whole hustle, bro. Like,
He was doing that before it was iOS.
somebody
update.
pull out that lime green iPhone 4, you're like, oh shit, like he's stunting. Like that was a different time, bro. So when did you like first pick up designing, or like what was like your first brand? I feel like everyone.
My first brand, still to this day, 50 Carats.
So it's always been 50 Carats.
I'm talking about like since high school.
Yo, you're actually lucky, bro, because like not a lot of people hit on the first one.
I didn't necessarily hit on the first one though. It took time. So it wasn't until maybe after like 2-3 years in, where it's like I started seeing at least the potential of what it could have been. Like random people from Switzerland emailing me.
Wow.
Like this is just year 3.
Damn.
You know, cause like how I even like learned graphic design was, I would do like flips of other people's logos. So like I feel like at that time I was like not ahead of the curve, but I was like one of those originators of people who did like the logo flips at the time. So like that's kind of just how I even just started like learning how to design. I would just like see a logo or see some shit and I'll just try to like copy it.
Flip it into like some other, like what were you flipping it into? Like your homeboy's music or just like random
just
shit?
random graphics.
Like funny shit. Like
I mean, I wouldn't even say like just funny shit, just different shit. It was me just kind of like just testing the waters, kind of just learning myself as well.
I felt that.
Just seeing where it is I wanted to go in general.
So, what was like the first 50 carats design that you felt you were like, all right, like now it's time that this is like next level type shit?
It was the Make Money Not Friends jacket. To be honest, like
I think it's time to talk about that actually.
yeah, cause like it was never really supposed to come out as a jacket. It was supposed to come out as a hoodie originally, but I guess like long story short, the hoodie didn't come out till maybe like almost 3 years after the jacket dropped. So like
That was like the windbreaker type jacket.
yeah, the windbreaker one with the 50 carats going down the sides.
Sheesh.
But it's crazy because like the design of it is still exactly the same after all these years, you know, and it still sells every single day.
I mean, of course. Now, I got 2 questions about that design. My first question to you is, where does the phrase come from? Like, obviously, it's like, you know, like an obvious term, and like, obviously, that's what life is about.
Yeah.
But like, what made you feel like, damn, this is how I feel? Like, I need to put this on a shirt.
I was at work. I feel like I told the story a million times, but I was at work. I used to work for Adidas, and I had somebody take my shift the next day. Long story short, he didn't show up. So when I came back to work the following day, my manager was just like, yo, where you was at? And I was like, I didn't come, but I had somebody take my shift. He said, look, dude never called in, and he never showed up.
Damn.
So when I got there, he was just like, how come you didn't call nobody? I was like, I don't have anybody's number here. I've been there for a year already.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I've been there for a year. He was just like, how come you have nobody's number? I'm like, yo, I'm here to make money, not friends.
Sheesh. And then you said that you were like, damn, that's a bar.
That's a bar.
And he put it on the shirt.
Like literally that
Well,
same
on the
day.
jacket.
That same day.
That's wild. So, how does it make you feel that so many people have copied that?
At first, I used to feel a way about it. And then after time, once you kind of realize like there's not really too much you can do about it, I mean, you just take it for what it is. They copy every single brand out there. Every good brand gets copied.
That's a fact. And two, I feel like when it comes to like streetwear designers, it's like, it's kind of like fucked in a way because it's like you could drop a design and it'd be super hot. But like, of course, you always want to stay limited.
Word.
But regardless, if it's a popular enough design, people are going to copy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably on Amazon. I'm sure we could type it in right now, and it's on Amazon. Somebody,
there.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
so it's like, yes, it's like pursuing your brand. So it's like, do you feel like it should always be ready available, or do you still try to keep that exclusivity?
I try to keep it exclusive to at least to a certain extent. So what I would do is I'll drop limited colors now. So you won't see the green colorway. You're not going to see the gray colorway. Like, there's colorways out there that I did the drop, but you probably will never see again. And I'll probably never make again, just for those people who have it.
Right. To be something special.
Yeah,
They got the real shit.
You got the real one. And
That-
you know it's not coming back.
Of course. I've definitely felt that.
Yeah.
That's wild. So,
I got a question.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Thank you.
What was that first moment when you realized, like, all right, my shit's like out there now?
I'm not going to hold you. It was the one time I did a drop, probably made about, I think, 3,000, 4,000 within the first couple hours.
Sheesh.
I was like, damn, okay, this shit hitting.
It's jumping now,
Yeah.
right?
So usually, like, my drops would be big. Like, every time I would drop, it would be a big drop.
Like how you did the red drop and you had like the Porsche and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was big.
Like, anytime there's a drop, like, things are always pretty big. But right now, we're just in between drops. So putting out the new collection in October.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, also, damn, JP, you made me lose my train of thought for a quick second there. So, how did like your life change after like the design blew up?
I mean, yeah, after the design went up, the brand went up, main thing at that point was really now start focusing on just like marketing. At that time, I was also now looking into stores, things like that. But also too, when you're the only person really around you even doing it at the level that you're doing it, not saying that other people weren't doing it at that level, because there were other brands, but it's not like we all knew each other.
Right.
There was no like line of communication.
Right. But that kind of goes into what I was about to say. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go
but
ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say with Velvet Velour, you guys are establishing that line of communication.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
go back to what you were saying though, because that was really important. My bad.
I mean, just like as you're coming up, especially like we all look to each other in a sense for direction. Like anyone who makes music, you know, there's a big homie you can go to. There's somebody that you know does something somewhere. But within that fashion world, especially earlier on in like, let's say 2014, 2015, this was before the whole become an entrepreneur clothing business style came about. So this was at a time where people were actually doing it because they actually genuinely loved it. And I could probably name like 4 or 5 people in Florida off the top of my head that were actually doing it at the time. But it's not like we all knew each other for real.
Right.
So I was still just kind of figuring out things by myself, and even till this day, but I have a lot more experience under my belt.
Now, you did say something actually that was really, really important, which was that you were doing this before the entrepreneurial mindset became popular. So, like, what were you drawing inspirations from to kind of do what you were
at
doing?
that time, I was listening to a lot of 50 Cent,
Like,
a whole lot of 50. Both.
Okay.
Both, yeah. 'Cause I really respected him as a businessman as well as a musician, as well as for somebody who now almost died and didn't play pity on his life, but instead, like, he really found a way to now not live a mundane life either.
Right.
You know, because after people, like, you know, go through certain things,
They give up or they just want to not be seen.
yeah, like, life happens. And it's totally understandable, but instead, like, he seen the situation and he decided that I don't want to be just good, I want to be great. It was in the music, it was in the business, it was in the video games he was producing. He became an all-around businessman. The deal he did with Vitamin Water, like, things like that, you see early on, you're just like, damn. Like, there's a lot more to art than just the creating of art.
Facts.
And he showed me that.
Damn, that's crazy. That's actually something I wouldn't expect,
Yeah.
like, you know, from you. Damn. Now I kind of want to know what's your favorite 50 Cent.
I mean, it was Get Rich or Die Trying. I used
Gotta
to listen to it every single day before my soccer games.
Damn. You was on some Tom Brady shit.
Pretty much, kind of.
Nah,
I felt that way.
that's what they say. He listens to many men every time before he goes out on the field.
It makes sense, though.
Damn. So
Besides clothing designing, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. I got this one stored, so don't worry. It ain't going nowhere.
Besides clothing design, like, what other ways do you express your creativity?
So I do production work as well, shooting music videos, directing music videos, directing commercials, even websites.
Damn.
So like even with my brand, how you see it, I design the website, design the clothes. I literally produce each like piece of garment from scratch.
Wow.
So everything that you see is not everything that you see.
It's not drop ship.
It's not drop shipped. It's not wholesale. Like somebody made it for me, and I said, "Okay, this is cool." It's like, nah, we literally had to go make the medium. We made the large. We made the extra large.
Shit.
Like everything is literally precise. It took an entire year to make the last drop.
Wow. Wow. And how does it make you feel that it's like people are achieving success by cutting the corners? You know what I mean? Like, and you're
I
doing
felt the way about it. I did, because at one point, and I feel like everyone, honestly, if like you're gonna be honest with yourself, you're gonna look around and say, "Damn, maybe I'm working too hard," because they cut corners and they was able to put out the collection that they needed a year before I did.
Word.
So that's a whole year they had ahead of me for cutting corners. But now you look forward, it's like, now what are they gonna do for the second drop? Are they still gonna be around?
Right.
You know, and there's certain things of just like what I guess like differentiates you as a brand versus someone just making a clothing line.
Facts. And that's the one thing too that I could say that really drew me to the brand initially was the fact that I feel like you added everything like slowly, but then it was like effective because it's like you started with the shirts from what I seen. You feel me?
Yeah.
I seen the shirts, then I started to see like the bags, then I seen like the hoodies. Now you're seeing like the truckers, like
Word.
you know, like adding slowly but surely, but still timely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of what JP asked. I want to ask kind of the same question. So it's like with you being so ahead when it comes to like the fashion game here, like how do you stay ahead? How like what are your inspirations to say like, yo, this is where fashion is going? Because like this is a long question. I'm sorry,
No,
but Like, you know, like I feel like fashion from like the last 5 years or so drastically changed. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like maybe 5, 6 years ago, the clothes were a little bit more tighter. You know, it was more of like certain brands, but now everything is more loose fitting, more like vintage always been up there, but you know, now everything is more vintage. Now companies are just saying instead of like you having to go pay mad money on eBay, you could just bring it back. So I was gonna say like, what's your inspiration to stay ahead?
I mean, yeah. So my inspiration really is doing my best to not look at what everyone else is doing. Because if I get caught up in what everybody else is doing, then my focus is now not on what I need to be doing.
Right.
But the only thing I would say is that it is important to also stay within what's relevant at the time, even if you are ahead. So like my whole collection, I'm already a year and a half ahead. Like literally,
Right.
year and a half ahead. So that in the in between time, I needed something to do. I needed something to put out because I'm in between collections.
I see what you're saying.
Which is
like-
why the trucker hat came about. I wasn't really big on wearing trucker hats like that. I had probably like 1, 2 trucker hats, but I wasn't on some like, oh, I got to get a new trucker hat. It was never like that.
I
I'm gonna be
feel you.
honest. But I understood that that was a popular style because we came from doing dad caps
Right.
about 5 years ago.
Right.
So we seen how things evolved, and since we see that trucker hats and fitted hats are really where it's at right now.
That's a fact.
So I'm a fitted hat person.
Me too.
You know?
Always been.
But what's smarter business-wise is a trucker hat because you only need to do one size.
Right. I see exactly what you're saying.
You get me? So realistically, like the trucker hat was more of a business move, but now the execution had to be done right.
Right.
Because there are certain things about like a lot of trucker hats that I personally wasn't a fan of. Just like even just the stitching. Like I even see bigger companies do trucker hats that I'm just not a fan of.
Just like because you're looking at it in a different perspective, like the details.
Yeah, the actual detail of it. And so that's why I just went and did my own trucker hat. We put out the first small drop. I wanted to do real exclusive colorways. And then the second one, which we did during the summertime, upgraded the hat a bit, did some more small changes. And even now, the trucker hat is catching its own wave,
Right.
you know? But that was
Definitely.
realistically just like something to put out in between collections.
So I always like to ask people this question, especially because like I feel like if I was to watch this interview and I like didn't know you, I would want this question to be asked. So what's the best way for somebody to go to get up with you, to like inquire with you, like if they're a designer, if they do clothes themselves, like what's the best way for them to really like inquire with you the right way?
I'm not a difficult person to get in contact with. Like I'm really not. You can hit me on Instagram. You got my number. Just call me. Don't text me. Call me.
Facts. I'm the same way, dog.
Right? Because I'm not gonna hold you. Like if you text me, I might not get back to your text right away, or at all. Not because I'm avoiding you, but because I got so much on my plate and I'm only one person. And I will tell anybody. As soon as I give you my number, I will tell you, call me. Don't text me.
Right.
You know, just to kind of like, I guess, avoid or get rid of that feeling of like, damn, he don't even want to text me back.
Nah, and then too, I probably expect that a lot of people that meet you, especially through this, probably expect you to have like, you know, a certain wall up. So it probably does even give them more initiative to tap in with you because you're like, nah, call me. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
you know? Damn. So how did like the Halo connection come about?
So 12 Lin, we've been friends for I don't know how many years now.
Alright,
It's been a
hold
while
on,
now.
man.
I was, yeah, bring the Halo out, man.
Yeah, what I mean.
But yeah, we've been good friends for a while now. You know, been working on different projects here and there. And so he had his brand, which was Halo, which is now Halo Blue, which is now the parent company of what Halo is, Heaven's Angels Living on Earth. And with that, it's really just a collective, a social experiment, a brand, company. It's really everything in one. But it's now seeing everything we've done over these years, but doing it on a higher scale. And that's what Halo Blue is. And so that's why we partner up on a lot of things. And we've introduced the Halo Blue collection to our website. So right now we're exclusively selling Halo Blue through 50 Carats as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like all like everything now is like connected.
Yeah.
So then when did Corella come into the picture?
I met Corella maybe about 3 years ago now. I was in New York. So him and 12, and they were in contact first. So they were talking already. They was already getting cool, but they haven't actually met either. So I was in New York at the time, and Corella, he was in New York. So then 12 was just like, yo, I'm gonna talk to this dude, Corella, da-da-da, good people's, push up on him. And it was my last day in New York, and I had something to do, but something in me was just like, fuck that, it's not as important as meeting up with this guy,
Right.
right? In my head, that's how I was looking at it. And then I met up with him where he was at, we chopped it up, and it was like, as if someone who I've known my whole life.
I felt that.
And I had no clue that he was coming down to Miami.
Wow.
So he came back down, we all chopped it up, we linked up, we all seen what we all had going on, and it just made sense to bring everything we had going on under one house, which is how Velvet Velour came about.
Right. And then we'll talk about that too. Now, before we go into the history of Velvet Velour, I wanted to see, do you guys ever sit back and think about like the trickle down effect of Velvet Velour? Like things that have happened just for you guys having that spot?
I'm gonna say yes and no.
Because you guys are so busy that you probably.
Yeah, we're more focused on tomorrow.
Right.
Next month, Art Basel.
Right.
What's happening in January.
Right.
So we really don't have too much time to even just like kind of like stop and reflect. But we've definitely seen, I guess, some of the blessings that have come out of it, some of the people that we've met, you know, just because we've had the space, things that we've been able to do. And I'm definitely very appreciative of the people that I've even just met, even just having the space, you know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, I could say it, man, like, I made lifelong friends there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Word.
people that I've just met just from being there that I'm just like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Really tapped in with and have actually done, like, real business with and shit like that. So, like, even if y'all don't get the chance to see it, like, and I know I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of people, but it's really a thank you to you guys for what you guys do by having these events, by having the space, and bringing people together, because I'm sure y'all really don't get the chance to see, like, who actually links up and does what, but I'm sure if I could say that, I'm sure there's a lot of other people.
Oh,
who
most
can
definitely. Like we've
say the same
had
thing.
many of the people we've had on this podcast have been because we met them through Velvet
Through
Velour.
Velvet Velour.
Like Ross has been here, Sabian, Artist Dope, Corella obviously was here. So like a lot. I'll be completely honest. Even when I had my studio, most of that was built through a lot of the people I met from Velvet Velour.
Even to the point that when you guys would do the when people would come listen to the music,
Yeah.
like I met hella people who like really supported me on music, like Cairo, Dragonfly, like just from going and playing 2 songs, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
like people that like till this, like I could call them on the phone right now, like really tapped in with, you feel me? And I'm sure y'all don't get to see that, so it feels good to actually get to bring that to y'all attention, you know?
I appreciate that.
Is that something you guys wanted to create on purpose, or does that just naturally happen from y'all working together?
Once again, I'm gonna say both.
Okay.
So yeah, like our main focus, even just as individuals, is community.
Right.
Like we're just community-based people, which is
Word.
why this space was able to work so well for us. Is because already our focus was how can we now service the community with what we have.
Right.
So then 12 was the one who now brought the music summit, and then just even with that, we did parties.
Right.
So you had the homies only party, you had the neighborhood watch party.
Yep.
You had all these things that we were putting out on a consistent basis, just to now service the community because the community wasn't servicing us.
Right. So instead of being angry, you guys created your own table.
Literally.
And through that, it's like, that's how communities really get built, though. It's like,
Yeah.
shit just keeps going like that. Damn, that's wild.
So
No,
how do you-
it
sorry,
really
go ahead.
is. No, go ahead, JP.
How do you balance working within the group while also focusing on 50 carats?
Sometimes it's a challenge. I mean, that's really it. Sometimes it's a challenge because I understand that just like in any relationship, everything needs to be watered. And at times, one area may need more water than the other.
Right.
And you may neglect watering the other plant because now you're so focused on making sure the other plant survives,
Agreed.
you know, or thrives,
Right.
I should say. So that's why I would say it's been difficult. But right now I've been finding a pretty good balance, though. I've been definitely getting a good space of now focusing on making sure I'm ahead.
Instead of having to work from,
A place of like, I need to take care of this right now. But now it's like, oh, okay, I'm ahead.
right.
So I can focus on 2 things at once.
So in like, actually, no, before we get there, how did the connection with Lambs come about in New York?
So we have our friend Frankie. He's a photographer down here. He's also played in the metal band.
That's Fauster, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Frankie.
Shout out Frankie. So yeah, mutual friends over there. We had Z. He stays in New York as well. It's Z and Phil. They run a lot of things over there in New York. So by the time we got there, it was already, we had mutual friends, mutual people already saying like, yo, let's work over here.
So by the time you met Steve, like shit was already cool.
Yeah, we was already within, I guess, family.
Right. That's wild. And it was like it like blew my mind because I was like, I feel like you guys were kind of doing the same thing just in different states. And then when y'all linked up, I was like,
And that's
Makes
how,
fucking perfect sense.
He described it to us, and I was just like, because I don't see people doing what we're doing down here. It was hard for me to now understand what he meant by, oh yeah, there's someone else in New York doing similar to what you guys are doing.
very much so.
You know, but they've been doing it a while, and you know, it'd be dope to check it out. But at the time, it's just like I didn't see it myself until I actually went there.
Definitely. Damn. JP, you got any more like hard hitting questions before I go to the rapid fire?
You can go to rapid fire.
All right.
I might interrupt you again though.
Nah, man. This shit been legendary though, man. For real, we appreciate you for coming through. For real.
Thank you.
Hold on, let me get my phone open, man. They gonna have to get the face scan. Hold on, let me. All right, so this is a rapid fire. Don't think too much, just answer. So, all right. The first song I play in the morning is
Organized.
by who?
How I say his name? Asake? Yeah,
I'm gonna have to listen
Nigerian
to that.
artist.
What kind of music is that?
It's like Afrobeats.
Yeah, it's African music.
I had to get put on. All right. Before I go to, I would say studio, like your creative space. Like it would be a studio for a designer too, right?
Yeah, same thing.
So all right, before I go to the studio,
Eat,
what you be eating?
get food.
What kind of food?
I don't want to talk about it.
You gatekeeping the diet right now?
Yeah.
Ain't a good diet.
Damn. He ain't trying to give no free promo. All right. My biggest distraction is
Myself.
that's deep. I like that. Late night, I like to eat. So now you got to talk about the diet.
Dessert before dinner.
Late night.
Yeah.
All right.
I eat dinner late too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah. But I always eat something sweet before my dinner.
So before you go salty
Like, I'll eat
before
my-
sweet.
No,
I
sweet
go
before
sweet
salty.
before salty?
Yeah.
That is.
I have my
different.
reasons though.
So you eat like a piece of cheesecake and then like rice and beans.
Like if so, but yeah, like I would do it like that. Like if that was the case, like that's how I do it.
Fair enough.
I feel like it balances out better.
I've never heard that before.
If
Try
it's
it.
if it's
Just
ice
try
cream,
it.
if it's ice cream, it makes sense because like you don't want the ice cream to melt.
But yeah, it's not about melting. It's just flavors.
That's where my mind went.
He said his palate is different.
Yeah, that is different. My favorite artist is now you could do art or you could do music.
12.
Big shout out to 12 man, for real. All right, this is outside of design, outside of like the culture. Like, I want to know what you nerd out for. So I'm the biggest fan of.
Electronics that work. A lot of shit don't work out here.
Trust me. We
That's
know.
a bar.
All right. My favorite vacation spot is.
Puerto Rico.
Man, you been to La Perla?
No, Old San Juan.
Okay, yeah. Don't go to La Perla. That's like that's where it get gritty. No, but you know sometimes like tour guides or whatever, you get like a fake ass tour guide out there and then he'll be like, oh, you want to, and then they'll just bring you there. But good thing they didn't.
All right, good.
Gabe said he got you plugged down there.
Look,
Let him know.
This is when we get a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? Life was easier before.
50 carats.
All right. If I could change one thing in the
Easier,
world,
not better.
okay. If I could change one thing in the world, I would.
Be more strict with myself.
Okay.
Apparently his diet is shitty. He don't want to talk about
That's
it.
what I'm saying. He's
I used
like,
to have
yo,
a real good diet. Like I don't think y'all understand.
like what you was like vegan?
For a little bit, but even before that, like I used to eat pollo every day,
Man,
twice a day. Like,
you got patience because
Yeah,
Pollo
for
be
real.
on smack.
I know, but like they knew me already.
Cause I love Pollo, but I hate Pollo because their fan base is so greedy. Like every time I go there, that shit is packed, and it's the same cars. Like I see y'all motherfuckers. I know
I was
it's
there
dumb.
this morning though. I was there this morning.
See, you got to put in a lunch order in the morning. That's how busy they are. All right. This is the last one on the rapid fire. I can't trust you if.
You lie to me about small things.
I felt deep.
So I can't trust you with big things.
Definitely. Yeah, no, this has been mad fun to do. I'm glad you came through.
Even though he came a little late.
I'm never the type to ask for a favor. But since I got you in the building, dog, just, tell my birthday twin Moneybag, one time to fuck with the boy, man. We got the same birthday. Tell him I said I'm just talking shit. But is there anything that you want to let the people know before we get up out of here? You said you got the collection coming soon, right? A couple months, October.
Wait, no, October. No, I lied. Pre-drop October though.
Pre-drop October.
Have it end of October, but the real drop is gonna be next month.
For sure. Let the
50
people.
carats also now available at the Shoebox in Miami.
You cut the stream? Oh, my bad.
Okay.
So you said they got it available in?
The Shoebox is in Wynwood. We got a couple more stores we're getting into. By next year, we should be looking at about 20 to 30 stores.
That's
worldwide.
big. That's big.
So it's been a lot more movement, a lot more expansion, a lot more things coming up. 50 carats gonna have a pretty big year next year.
I see it, dog, and I feel it, bro. Also, shout out to DH1 Apparel, right?
Yeah,
That's fam, right?
Hell yeah.
You didn't think I knew that?
Yeah.
Come on. I always keep one, you feel me, in the sleeve, man. But this has been the Florida Vibe Directory. Gabe Avelli, Udo, 50K, Halo Blue, more shit coming. Corella, 12 Lin, Velvet Velour,
1H.
D1H Apparel, Day One Hustlers. I always say DH1. It's my dyslexia, dog. Don't mind me. JP, shout out to JP. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to the whole Minds Wide team for setting this up.
But thank you guys though for today though. It's probably one of the dopest interviews I've done.
Hey, we got to bring you back though.
Thank you for coming in.
Cause I don't like doing interviews at all. Like not even a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, like not even a little bit. This was cool.
I try to keep it conversation and then like, you know what I'm saying? Like I give you something, you take it there, and then if I gotta bring it back somewhere, like I'm gonna just at least try to bring up the important
Like the
stuff.
last interview I did was for the Herald.
Damn.
And we beat the Herald?
Come on, man.
This real journalism.
Hard-hitting questions.
Yes, sir. And tomorrow we will be live 2 p.m. Proximity FM. Y'all make sure y'all tap in.
Shout out. Y'all boys be easy.
Oh, I was waiting for the... You already know what it is, man. Game of Belly. Minds Wide. 50K. We coming back.
This is Zanaya.
It's the righteous vigilante Jamon Creek, and you're tuning in to Minds Wide Open.
Hey, yo, check it out. This is Namestream, never mainstream. You're tuning in to Minds Wide Open Media.
Shout out to the Florida Vibe Directory. You're now listening to the best playlist in South Florida.